It's a sunny afternoon, and crowds of high schoolers are hanging out at Fair at 44, a brightly decorated plaza on El Cajon Boulevard between City Heights and Talmadge. In the corner sits Ana Rivera's food truck, Jibaritos de la Isla. Its Puerto Rican and Dominican cuisine is a hit with the neighbors.
Our specialty is a plantain sandwich. It's basically 2 fried plantains, lettuce, tomato, mayo, and then your choice of steak or pork.
Business has been good for Rivera in the 5 months she's been at this location, but sometimes she fears for her customers' safety. While they sit and enjoy their food, cars zoom by on El Cajon Boulevard, one of San Diego's deadliest streets. Drivers often speed and run red lights. Rivera has seen some horrific crashes. In one of them,
The car was just totally flipped upside down. My husband had to pull the passengers out of the vehicle. There was another accident that a car, hit another car, and it ended up in the middle in the median, and the driver was ejected through the passenger door.
given how dangerous El Cajon Boulevard is already, Rivera was shocked when she learned the city is planning on widening it further. It wants to shrink the size of the plaza and add a new right turn lane for motorists.
I thought it was a little crazy. I thought it would add to a lot to the chaos that's already here.
City traffic engineers are forcing the developer of an affordable housing project on this block to pay for the widening. It's another example of how car-centric planning has quietly continued in San Diego. That's despite pledges from city leaders to make streets safer and more pedestrian, bike, and transit-oriented. There's another example across town in Bay Park.
One thing that you notice when you start to kind of walk along Marina Boulevard is that the sidewalks are not actually complete.
Whitney Beard lives near a trolley station due to open in November. She says there aren't enough ways for pedestrians and bikes to safely access the station, so she's been organizing her neighbors to demand better.
We spent $2 billion on this trolley, and I mean, if you just kind of walk this road, there's literally no access if you're not in a car. It's very dangerous. And it's not good for the community.
During construction of the trolley station, Morena Boulevard was narrowed from 4 lanes to 2. Beard says she liked it better that way.
Traffic got a little congested for like 2 weeks. And then after that, it was pretty smooth sailing, but the traffic was much slower. So you wouldn't go above 35 miles an hour on this road when it was 1 lane each way.
But when construction ended, the road was widened again. Now drivers treat it like a freeway.
Adding an extra lane, expanding the road capacity is oftentimes the first instinct of a traffic engineer.
Colin Parent is executive director for the nonprofit think tank Circulate San Diego. He says the new goals set out in the city's climate action plan should have changed this driving first mindset. But just making a plan isn't enough.
They're not self-executing policies. The city has to have, or any city has to have, implementing policies that are representative of the values that are in those larger documents. And so for streets, that's things like complete streets plans or the road design manuals, those sorts of things. And a lot of cities, including San Diego, haven't caught up to the value statements that their elected officials have signed on to.
Back where Ana Rivera's food truck sits, the construction to further widen El Cajon Boulevard hasn't started yet. It's scheduled to begin as soon as next month. But Rivera hasn't given up hope that Mayor Todd Gloria will intervene.
It's something that we're not going to be able to reverse in the future. And I think the traffic is so bad right now. We need to be thinking more how we can reduce the traffic and reduce the speed of the cars. I think adding a lane isn't going to do that. I think adding a lane is just going to add more traffic, more cars, more accidents.
The mayor has not yet said whether he'll stop the widening, but his press secretary sent KPBS the following statement. Like other issues we've inherited from the prior administration, the city needs to look back at this project and make sure it is consistent with Mayor Gloria's goals. Andrew Bowen, KPBS News.